Yes.
Okay, so three, two.
What was doing?
What? I'm just gonna talk to you. What are we doing?
Okay.
Hello and welcome to Stay in Touch, a new weekly conversation show about staying in touch with the outside world and with ourselves during this crazy, crazy time. I'm Jake Marsden. I'm a theatre maker and an artist based in Hull. If you don't know me, thanks for watching this, and thanks for watching this if you do know me. Um, I'm uh, I'm a chronic meditator and would like to find ways to connect with people during this crazy time. I'm currently furloughed from my day job and having a great time, to be honest, just hanging around, finding new hobbies, taking care of myself generally. But I don't know how long that can last. I don't know how long I can keep myself sane, uh, just on my own. So I wanted to find a way to connect with people, and also I feel like I'm really lucky that I'm having my wages paid for, or 80% of them anyway. And not everybody is in that privileged financial position. Not everybody is probably doing as well as I am in terms of the mental health and coping with the isolation. So I wanted to hear from as many different people as possible about how they're being affected in terms of the finances, in terms of work, in terms of mental health, and hopefully we'll talk about how we can all get through this together too. I want to invite you to check out the Facebook page, which is Stay in Touch, and we're also on Instagram and Twitter at Stay in Touch Show, and you can also email in at Stay. This is going to be really. I'll get used to this the more I say them, I guess. You can email me at stayintouchshow@gmail.com, and what I want to hear on that email, if you guys want to take the time, is to let me know some suggestions about how to do a better job at this. I've never made a show before, never done anything like this, so I'm figuring it all out as I go along. So thank you for bearing with the technical hiccups and little bits in terms of format that are a little bit funny while I find my legs on this project. So the format of the show is essentially just that I'm going to call someone, which I would hopefully be doing anyway, but I think that so many people have so much beautiful stuff to share during this time that I really felt passionately about sharing conversations with the wider world, and hopefully, like I say, we can people will feel more heard and more connected, and we can also learn things from everybody about how to get through a time like this. This conversation is the first one that I had. This is with my mum, Diane Rattigan. She's a higher level teaching assistant in a primary school in West Yorkshire. So I really wanted to hear from her about what's happening in the schools right now. She still goes to work certain days so that she can take care of and teach the kids of key workers who are also still going to work. We had a gorgeous conversation about the family unit pulling together in a time of crisis, what it's like to stay positive as the head of a household with lots of people to take care of, and also balancing that with taking care of yourself as well. And we touched a little bit on how to get through this when you live with anxiety and depression, because we both do, and that's something that I really want to talk as much as possible about during this process, and there's more to come on that in other episodes, hopefully. She didn't half waffle on, my mum. She did a great job. I thought she was going to be all nervous, and I could barely get a word in edgewise. So thanks for being so generous and open, mum. This was a really lovely conversation. So that's it. Enjoy this episode of Stay in Touch. Thank you. Hello, mum.
Hi, JK. You okay?
I'm not bad. Thanks for asking. How are you?
Good. I'm really well, thank you. Feel a lot better than I was. I felt a bit off it yesterday, a bit like I had no motivation. But today, I've got up, I've done my Wicks,
Oh yeah,
I've had my shower, and sorted myself out, and ready for the day.
great. I've just realised I've already done this wrong because I haven't full screened you, so everybody can see my icons and stuff.
No.
Um,
Well, oh, John, live it that way.
Here's this is definitely you're definitely my guinea pig today. I don't know if this will be the first conversation that I upload
That's fine.
or not, but it's the first one I'm recording, so
Oh,
teething problems. Eventually, I want to
don't worry.
figure.
Don't
Eventually, I
worry.
want to. I mean, this video is going to be quite funny because, to be honest, it is like your face is. It's mostly your face, and eventually I want to figure out how I can like side by side them and it look a little bit more balanced. But
Well, so do I.
sorry about that.
I don't want
Um,
my. Oh God. People watching it, I'll have a nightmare.
How's Joe Wicks? How are you finding that? Is that something you're doing every day or?
I only did it one day last week because the rest of it, every day then I couldn't walk properly. I was
Oh
in
really?
agony.
Oh gosh, that's not good.
I mean, it's supposed to be for kids, but I think it's a bit too much for kids. And I don't think it's too above me. So some of the things that he does, I can't do. So I have to do my own, just improvise.
Yeah.
And then I don't know, he just waffles on a bit. And like, I just want to get through my half an hour, but he has to. I mean, I know he had like 300 and odd thousand followers this morning. So they all come up the side of the screen, which I now know how to get off because it were annoying me. But so he's saying hello to everybody in and amongst everything, which is lovely.
But you're like,
Um,
come on, Joe, I'm trying to get fit here. I don't
and come
want.
on, yeah. So I don't really know if he's for me. I thought that last week, and then like one of my friends went, "Isn't he a dish?" And I just find him irritating, which is it's really bad because he's doing something so good for all these kids and the parents. And I think probably, I mean, the reason I was getting up and doing it in the first place was to get the girls involved, and they're in bed, and there's me, 52-year-old woman, doing Joe Wicks on my own.
That's amazing.
So I'm
So
like, but I'm going to do it again tomorrow. But I'm trying to find what is it? What's she called? Oti Mabuse, because she does a dance one
right,
on YouTube.
cool.
But I looked for it this morning, but I couldn't find it. So I think what I might do tomorrow is, I think she's on at 11:30. So I thought I'll do Joe Wicks at 9, and then at 11:30, I'll just tune into her YouTube and see if she comes on live, and have a look at that, uh, and see what I think of that one, and then I might decide which one I'm going to do.
Fab. Cool. Well,
So,
good
but I'm
luck to
just
you with
trying
that.
to do something. Just trying to do a bit of something. Because like I say, I'm not getting out walking at the minute either.
That's it.
Um,
Yeah.
because I don't know. I should go out walking, but I just go, oh no.
So
No,
you're
at the moment
so at the moment you are an H. I've forgotten which way around the L and the T is. You're an HLTA,
I
which
am.
is a higher level
Higher level.
teaching assistant at
Yeah,
a primary school,
yeah,
where in the village West Yorkshire where you live. And you are. Tell me a little bit about your work arrangement right now, because you're going in certain days, are you? And then
yeah. We're just down to everybody's doing one day a week now. Because the parents have been amazing. They're only sending the children in, obviously, if they really need to, which now are the NHS workers that are on the front line, um, which, like at the minute, I think I had five children in last week. So there's a teacher in, and then there's an assistant, whether it's a support assistant, whether it's a teaching assistant or an HLTA, we're all really doing the same thing. So obviously there's only two classes in the school now, and last week there was five in my class, and there was four in the other class. So we've like amalgamated four year groups in each one.
cool.
Um,
So tell me a little bit about you obviously at work you're used to like working at a particular sort of schedule and I guess you get in a rhythm and a routine and it sounds like I've always thought it sounds like you're brilliant at what you do, and now this tell me a little bit about the new challenges that you must be facing now that you consolidate in age groups, and then also are there any other challenges that like things that are just completely brand new because of the circumstances that you've really had to
right. Well, I'm not in my classroom. We're
right,
now in
and
a different
that's a big deal, right? For
setting, which for me is a big deal
yeah,
because I'm so set and so used to being in my setting, in my classrooms. I know where everything is. I feel at home there. So the first challenge was going into a classroom where I've never been before. Um, but luckily, I was in with that teacher for the first time I was in. So she showed me the ropes, she showed me where everything was and how everything worked and everything. So that really, it made me feel better. The other thing is, obviously with children, um, I was at first actually. I was worried that I was going to be with children that I didn't know, but luckily, because I'm down in normally in reception, the children that I've got now have been through reception anyway, so I do know them, um, and we've got one child that I've never seen before and taught before, but he's been coming every time I'm there, and now we're used to each other, and but it is getting to know the children what they can do. And it's like, because we're not working off curriculum now as well, we don't really know until that day. We've got things planned, but until the day to see how many children have come in. So, like, we're just working together because I'm now with a different teacher again who I haven't worked with for, gosh, eight, 8 years, 8, 9 years. So, I'm working with her now, but we're just batting ideas off each other. So it's working really well. And if we think the children have had enough doing one thing, we go on to another. But the hard thing is as well is keeping that distance,
Mm.
keeping all the children,
Yeah,
distanced as well,
yeah.
um, and making sure they wash their hands constantly. And so it's just those are the battles, and also they're going to be, um, they're going to know why why they're coming into school because their parents will have had to have told them, so they're going to be worried as well. So we're there obviously to take that anxiety and worry away, and just to make sure that they have a really good time and a
Mm.
nice day.
And is there a sense among the kids that they understand what's going on in the world, and how are they responding to it? Does it are they worried
They
or?
they talk about coronavirus, so they know the words. They know that. I don't really think they know the extent of what is going on, um, because I don't think parents have told them too much. Um, so we don't mention it, we don't dwell on it.
Cool.
We just tell them just these nasty germs going round at the moment, and we need to make sure that we wash our hands. I mean, I talked about it the other day with you, didn't I, where I said that I do get a bit anxious myself. I mean, I know I'm only in one day, but it's still, it can still. I'm still working with children whose parents are NHS workers.
Yeah.
But the thing is, if we all stick to the government guidelines, which we all obviously are doing, then it's not too bad. And I feel like I'm glad I'm there, because then these parents can go off and do what they need to do, and not worrying about the kids, because we're there for them. And that's how I'm looking at it, that these people need us. So I'm just helping everyone get through it.
Yeah.
And it
You.
is enjoyable. The kids are amazing, and you know, I mean, it is surreal because there's hardly any staff in. Like, we're having lunch in the staff room, but obviously I think there's four of us, so we're all spaced out on the table, which is what obviously we have to do. Really quiet, and then obviously our cleaners are coming in still every night, and I know them, and it's like talking to them from afar, and it is really surreal. It's just something that, wow, never had to cope with, never had to do before.
So what's the long term view of the school, and of, I don't really know what the sort of goal is, in not the goal, but what the plan is in general, and is it just to keep going in this fashion until we hear otherwise, or?
We've got a plan now. I think a message has gone out to parents that they're going to have like a virtual classroom. So obviously we still have the children in and do those bits. But at the minute, packs have been sent out to the children, and they're just doing the work that have been sent out in these packs, and looking at things online, and craft activities and stuff, and doing the phonic sounds and the bits of maths that we've all put these packs together, all the classes. But I think after Easter, trying to set up a virtual classroom where the teacher will actually set things for them to do, and then they'll be able to get in contact with the teacher, and the teacher will be able to mark work. And so that's all in the process at the moment, that they're going to do that, because to be fair, I don't think they can do this pack will only last so long. But I think they need to be in contact with the teachers. I think they need, to know that they're still thought about, and the teachers are still there to help them, and they're still, because otherwise they're going to lose a lot of school time,
Mm.
which
Yeah, it's really important,
and
isn't it,
what?
that
Sorry.
the teachers, you are the ones that you're appraising the kids where they are and where they should be, and the best way to get them there, aren't they? And
Yeah,
I wonder if there's
yeah.
is there a danger during this time of certain kids maybe who need more, a bit more pushing, or just all of the kids in general, are they going to lose out on that
Ian.
opportunity for the contact with the teachers and the people like yourselves who are pulling them up?
I think, I mean, I would have thought it would be the same in every school, that every parent um, knows that they can contact the school for any reason whatsoever. Um, if they're struggling with something, they should have an email, or even if it's straight to the head, they should be able to go to somebody in that school, because that's what the schools are there for at the moment. I would have thought that for the children that, like you say, um, need that little bit extra at times. I think there will be a safety net in that school, and I think that's something that the parents and the school have sorted out between them. I would have thought the teachers want the best for the kids as
Yeah,
well,
of
because
course.
they really do, and they're missing them. All my staff that I've been, my colleagues that we've been talking to are really missing the children, and I know for a fact that they've all got a good rapport with parents, and all parents will have an email for that teacher, or for the head, and I know that the teachers are there,
Cool.
and that should be, and I would have thought that every school would be the same.
So let's talk a little bit about this. So you've got my sisters Beth and Ellie Mae at home,
Yes,
who are in
yes,
both in like quite unique places in, well, they're both in different places in their school careers. So Beth is, as you say,
yeah,
in year 8, isn't she? Um,
yes.
and school isn't necessarily her favourite.
And I think because I'm just finding now with Beth, because she has some difficulties, does Beth,
Yeah.
and I think I'm probably realizing now the issues that she has.
Right,
So in
because
one
you're
respect,
having more contact with her while she's doing her work, which you haven't seen her doing before necessarily, so you can see that
and
more
so
clearly.
now I have got things in my head that when school is up and running, or even before that, I will be emailing school to try and get these things put into place.
Great.
I mean, I've got to admit, because um, she's never wanted to be labelled with anything. So we've gone down the route of, right, well, it doesn't matter. Let's just get on with it. But I'm finding when I'm sat with her now and I'm thinking, I think she needs help, more help than she's been letting on. Nothing major, but I just think for her to get through her GCSEs, she needs some strategies put into place that's gonna help her more. She probably won't like it, but with being there, sat with her and looking at things, and I'm thinking, right, I'm glad, because I think when they get to high school, you lose it. You don't
Mm.
have that same contact. So, but I have got emails, from teachers, and they've been really good. Same with primary school. We're getting emails constantly about how are you all doing? Is there anything, which is really good. I mean, for their school, I bet I'm getting an email every day. I've even got a lovely email from the head saying, I'm really sorry that we're in this situation, and I'm really hoping your children are okay. But if there's any issues or anything at all, so we're getting contact from school all the time. But I just think there's one or two things because of her difficulties that we could just. So I'm glad I'm at home and helping her with them bits now.
Yeah, so that's one positive. It seems like has come
Yeah,
out of it. You've been able to see her at work, and you can help her while you're there, and then you know
but
what to ask for when she goes back.
I just wish now that I could have done that for all four of you. Do you know what I mean?
Oh well, that
I've not
boat's
had
gone
that,
out of the
so
port,
I
hasn't it?
don't know what I don't know what slipped with you guys.
Yeah, you don't know the first thing about that.
No.
Oh no, I mean my delinquentism was well documented while I was at school. I don't think there was anything I got
Yeah.
away with that you didn't find out about eventually.
No.
And
Yeah.
in terms of the support that perhaps Beth might need, I understand I respect that view that a label doesn't matter and all that sort of thing, and she can live her life independently of feeling like she's been put in that box. But I guess the reason that those categorizations exist is because then that's how you identify what support a particular person
Exactly.
might need. So I guess you're up against the challenge of that's the decision you've taken, so you're not quite sure. Is that right, that you're not exactly sure
Yeah.
what are the strategies that you need because you're not exactly sure what they are?
Um, I'm pretty up on what she needs, to
Mm-hmm.
be fair. Because she's been diagnosed with what she's been diagnosed with. I've done a lot of research on it. And obviously, I would have thought the school would have the same knowledge. And I've got to admit, she does come home and she says, I've had to sit. I'm sat at the front and I don't like it. But that's one of the reasons she sits at the front, because she's got to make sure she's focusing, and other bits. But one or two things I think are slipping, which big classes. But I've suddenly realised now that I know what strategy she does need. And I can go and advise. I mean, I'm not going to be going in and saying she needs this, 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 and this. I will probably, because of Miss Parents' Evening as well, you see, which that's a hard one, because that's when you can talk to your teachers and any concerns. So obviously, because there's been no Parents' Evening, there are going to be parents with concerns.
So you're busy at work at your actual job, and then you're busy at home as well, still kind of doing your job while you're
Yeah.
there.
Well,
What's
I'm trying.
so you've just to
I'm
expand.
learning a lot. I'm learning a lot though. I'm doing really well. We did music on Friday. We did French in the morning, and music in the afternoon. So it was a lovely day Friday.
Great.
But try and make it fun for her, so have a bit of a giggle. But that's
Yeah,
what
yeah.
it's all about, isn't
Of
it?
course, that's the key. So you that's just two people you live with. Well, one person, you and Beth, but you've also got Ellie Mae there, who's just turned 18, and
Yeah,
she was doing her A
which
levels, and your husband, my stepdad Dean, is there, and also my 20. What? How old's Danny now? Can't remember.
24.
24, a year behind me, and he's there as
Yeah.
well.
So we try and keep out of each other's way when we cook it. I mean, ideally, we're doing okay. They make their own dinners because obviously they get up at different times. Dean's still trying to keep to his routine.
And he's
We have
working from home, right? So he's there as well.
he's in he's got the dining room, so all doors are shut. He's got certain times when he's on conference calls, so we know the times we can't go in. So we've had to set like a bit of a timetable, a bit of a routine. I mean, to be honest, I'm glad that they're older, because I think it would have been harder with younger children, trying to keep
Right.
them occupied. But like I say, the girls, they've it's amazing, really. In fact, all three of them have cleared out the bedrooms, so now the bedrooms are a nice place for them to be. The girls are getting on so well together; they do loads together. If Beth's not doing a school when she's not doing a schoolwork, they'll do a workout together. They'll be in each other's bedrooms having chats, and so that is really nice to see.
Mhm.
Um, because we haven't all been probably in the same house for years all together.
Mhm.
Daniel he's okay, but he's really, he needs to get out.
Yeah.
So he's up and down and wandering around a bit. But 2 Sundays now he's cooked the Sunday dinner. It's been amazing. He'll come down and we'll have a bit of a chat and a bit of a laugh and what have you. You know, he's doing all right. It's fine. Um, I don't dread getting up on a morning, which is good.
That's great. That's really good.
Uh, yeah, I don't. Um, I mean, there's more things to wash up. Like at tea time, I make everybody's tea. So I've got to admit that's quite because with all being different, with Ellie Mae being vegetarian, Beth doesn't eat anything we eat. Um, but it's we're doing really well. It's not bad at all.
I'm bored of that. I'm bored of eating. I'm bored of having to cook and eat every all the
That's
time.
the only thing. It's like every day. I mean, when I've come in from work, I'm not because I'm active and I'm like, right, I get straight on and cook tea. But also I found that difficult because normally I do a menu for the whole week and I stick to it and I know what I've got in and everything. Whereas at the minute going to the supermarket, we're writing a sort of list, but it's what you can get. You know, we just go and it's what you can get really. So at the minute tend to be making the same sort of thing and I'm getting a bit bored of it. So that's the only thing that I'm struggling with is not having my menu and like looking every day and think, right, what am I going to make with this today? So that's struggling with meal times really, tea times. Um, but no, I'm quite enjoying the time at home to be honest.
And that's great. That's really
I
really
really
good.
am. Yeah,
I was gonna say it sounds like that you're managing to where I guess in my head I had this picture of the because to be fair, what used to be my household is so can be so hectic at times.
yeah,
And like you say, everyone's it's rare that you're all together anyway because everyone's doing so many different things. So I've just experienced that sort of frantic energy.
I know.
So I
Yeah,
kind of I imagined that yeah. So I imagined that you were all bumping into each other and getting under each other's feet. But it sounds like that
no,
because
no,
you've been forced to be together, you're kind
mm,
of getting on maybe better than you have for a long time. It sounds like
yeah.
you're all pulling together.
Well, touch wood. It's like, well, shall I do that today? No, I'll do it tomorrow. It's fine.
Pressure's lifted a bit.
I don't need to rush. I can just, which is good for me because I'm not like that, am I?
Mm,
Quite, I'm not, yeah, I'm not that laid back person but I'm just, I'll just say, right, I'm going to get that done today and I'll do it. And I'll do that tomorrow because I know I've got all day. So I'm just
great.
doing it when I can, really, when I want to do it.
I feel like what we're experiencing is now that everybody's got so much time on their hands, it's more up to us. We have more of a responsibility than ever to choose what we spend our time doing, and that can be um, really nerve wracking for some people, and always has been for me. And
Mm,
I sort of have always preferred work, going to work because then it's you're like, well, that's out of my hands. Then I'm going to work today, and that's I don't have to
yeah,
think about what I'm doing, whatever. And then having so much time in which people are now confronted with what are my hobbies, what are my interests, what am I.
yeah.
But
Mm.
you seem like you're dealing with that quite well. Is that like are you like what's your attitude towards that now you're cooped up. Do you know what I mean? Because it's funny because you said you were really
Oh,
moaning about Joe Wicks, but you are
I
doing
was,
it.
but
So
I've done it. Um, you see, normally, I mean, I've got my pedometer on, but normally, because I'm on my feet all day at work, I'm just constantly on the go. Whereas now I'm at home, I'm I'm panicking a little bit because I'm not getting all my steps in, and I can just feel myself just letting that slip a little bit. So, and like I say, no, you see, we used to go for like half an hour walks on a lunchtime at work and things. So I'm not doing that now, which to be fair, I could still do. I could still get myself. Um, so I've started today. I've had 2 weeks of like going, right, whatever, forget it. I'll just, but I mean, I've been doing like housework and stuff. So it's not as if I've not been sat down. So I'm doing things, but probably not on the go as much as if I was at work.
mm. And it's cool though
So,
that you're managing to like combat that like in a proactive way. You're aware of that and you're worrying about it, but you're not letting it overwhelm you, and you're just saying, cool, I'm going to do a little bit of exercise on a morning, even if you can't stand it and he waffles on a bit. You're going to find something that works for you, so that then you can rest easier and know that you've got your exercise. Because I think, again, there's a danger of this is sort of, it feels like an extended holiday from work, and it also feels like a holiday from from your life. And like you say, you're on, when you said like you're on a healthy eating regime, and it struck me that that's like, I was a bit like, there's kind of a feeling of like, well, why bother about anything right now? And I think that's really dangerous, isn't it? That if we get into a routine of, oh, I'm just going to try and have fun and enjoy this time.
Today, this is my first day, and I thought, right, I'm gonna, keep to it now. I'll get on it and just try and keep healthy while, because I could do it. I mean, I could let myself go, but I'm not going to do. I'm not going to do that.
Yeah, great, good.
So I'm going to try and do Joe Wicks again tomorrow, no matter how much in pain I am.
He's a sweetheart, that Joe Wicks, though. He's real
He's
sweet.
amazing. Oh, don't get me wrong. I mean, I love his recipes. I make some right nice stuff out of his recipe books, and so don't get me wrong. I don't think it's him. I think it's just, I don't know. I don't know. I just
Okay. So I
no. He's a lovely guy, and
you
he's doing a lot for people, and it's amazing. And you know, don't get me wrong.
so
And
I
I will do
can't
him again.
title I
I'll
can't
do him
title
again
this video.
tomorrow.
I can't title this video. My mum thinks Joe Wicks is a waste of time. Hates Joe Wicks. Nobody do Joe Wicks.
I don't though. I don't. I don't hate.
No, I
Honest.
know.
No, I think he's done an amazing thing. I just I think it's a bit too hard for me
That's cool.
at my age. I can't get on the floor. I can't get down. I can't lunge and get my knee on the floor without it cracking.
What do you think to his living room? His nice, clean, tidy living room.
Well, look at that. I mean, come on. Um,
It was all over
I
Twitter.
know.
That.
I'm thinking, where's he put his table and his chair? Where's his settee? Does he move it out every morning?
Nobody knows.
Because mine has to stay where it is.
There was a great tweet about like someone said, I just imagine he drags his sofa out into the hallway every morning so he can do this.
And
So,
we're decorating our front room this week.
oh great, that'll be nice. Something to do.
Another job. I've had the wallpaper and paint for about 5 years or more. We've never done it. So I said, right.
Great. So I think that there's a
Yeah.
sense right now that with part of what I wanted to do with these conversations is I imagine that, and I hope that I'll talk to some people who are kind of, I mean, not that I hope that anyone's struggling, but I hope that I can use these conversations to connect and listen to people who are struggling and don't quite know what to do with themselves and whatever.
They also need to be made aware that I have depression.
Okay.
And, my low times, I get really low. So, people need to know as well that, I'm I'm shocked at myself, to be fair,
Mm-hmm.
because at times, these sorts of times, that is when I am, pretty rubbish and really down and really, but just to have that little bit of positivity and just set yourself a goal a day, you can do it. You can, because you know me, Jake, and you know that what I get like, and I'm. Oh, who means to say, after it's all over, because I'm doing so well now, when everything is back to normal, I might have to be careful then, because that's when I might drop or I might dip. But people need to be aware that I've been, I have depression. I've had it for years. It's different because you look at it a different perspective. There's people worse off than you, and you just set one goal a day. If the rest of it you want to sit watching television, go for it.
That's great. Thanks for that. That was really really comforting and inspiring, and thanks for being willing to share that. That's really really special, and I think going to be really really useful for someone to hear.
Yeah.
And you're right. I think because obviously I have my anxiety and depression as well. I bet that's hereditary. Thanks for that.
You're welcome. It's absolutely fine. Blame your grandma.
I no, I obviously I'm joking. I feel like if you haven't got anxiety in the 21st century, like I don't know what race you are. But that's something I took a long time to understand that it comes and goes in waves, doesn't it? And it's as much about I kind of feel like what you're alluding to is a kind of preventative thing, and I really appreciate that you just said maybe when this is all over, then I'll have to be careful, because you fall into the trap of thinking, oh, I'm great, I'm okay, nothing can possibly touch me now, and then that's all of a sudden where you go, oh, hang on, how did I get here? I'm in bed and I
Yeah,
can't get up, and so
yeah,
yeah, thanks for saying that. So yeah, it seems like people are taking up new hobbies and trying new things out, and also the hobbies and the activities that we generally do anyway are taking on a slightly different form. And I think it's my favourite thing about this time is that people are showing a real creativity in being able to carry on doing the things that they're doing, connecting with the people they're connecting with, and just tell me a little bit about the way, some of the things that, because like you say, doing something a day is really important, and tell me a little bit about your hobbies that you've got that you're still doing that still occur in a virtual or digital form.
yeah. Right. Well, I've joined a rock choir,
Yeah, you've
which I
joined a
did
rock
before.
choir.
I joined a rock choir,
So
which
cool.
is something that I started before. Obviously, we had lockdown, where a group of us ladies, I went on my own, so I didn't know anybody. I just thought, I'm going to give it a go because I've always loved singing. I don't sing much anymore. I can't say I'm brilliant at it anymore, or maybe I never was. I don't know. But anyway, so I go on a Tuesday evening to a rock choir, and luckily for us now, we do it on a Tuesday night virtually. We now have our tutor in his at home, and then we all it's that Zoom. We do it on Zoom, which
Hmm.
that's another thing. My IT skills have just gone up. I know how to get onto Zoom. I've done that. And then I sit or stand actually because we've got some breathing exercises to do and some things to have to do using our arms and what have you. So I'm sitting and standing. I do it in my bedroom, and I'm singing for an hour
Awesome. So cool.
virtually.
So cool. And do you how can you see all the other people who are taking part while you're doing that, or do you just see the teacher?
No, just see the
Just see the
teacher,
teacher.
and
But
he
even
puts us
even
on mute. Pretty good thing.
yeah, right. So you can't hear everyone, and no one can hear you.
So you can sing to, you can just sing. I mean, obviously we're trying to do the harmonies, but I can't hear everybody's harmonies, so I'm just singing my harmony. It's good because we're still all involved.
Yeah, you still
I
do.
mean, obviously I were anxious. I were anxious for doing that, especially with everyone else in the house. Maybe they're listening, but then I thought, oh, it don't matter, does it?
Of course, it doesn't. Good for you.
So
Good for
yeah,
you for being able to think like that.
yeah.
And do you feel like you still get because obviously the importance and the brilliance of those kinds of things is that you go and you're part of a community and you experience that as a group of people. And then the danger of this time is that you're taken away from that. Do you still feel like you kind of get a sense of that a little bit when you've done your virtual version of it?
Yeah, it's still because that's still my time. It's still my me time.
Hmm.
Um, I mean, it would be nice to get out and actually see the people, obviously. But no, it's fine. Everybody's all there in their own little rooms, and we're all doing the same thing, so it's quite good,
Sweet.
really. And then tonight, because I help at Slimming World, I help. I'm one of the volunteers there. So tonight we have our first virtual meeting. So I've got that tonight. I don't know what that'll be like, but I'm looking forward to that. So we have to wait. We've got to get weighed tonight as well, and then let her know our weights and everything, and then we'll get either a slap wrist or a well done.
Well,
Oh, I know what mine. I know what
I,
mine's going to be. That's why I'm starting today.
I don't,
Mine's going to be dreadful,
I don't think you've any
but
business even being at the Slimming World, let alone if anyone's going to be slapping your wrist. I don't think that's on. But
oh no.
that's perhaps all I'll
No,
say about
it's
that.
good. That's just something else then that, because that's something me and Ellie may do together. So,
Real.
and then obviously I'm in touch with my work pals every day. We have our own WhatsApp group. So we put like little videos on and, just to keep just funny things on, and little chats about things. So that's all good as well.
Great.
And then Beth does dance on a Thursday. She's got her first virtual lesson on Thursday, and they said if parents want to join in, they can do. So
Oh,
I
great.
thought I might join Beth doing her dance. So we've always got things. I've just picked up a book as well. I've started reading again because I used to love reading.
Yeah.
So I've picked up a book again, and then I'm watching a thing on iPlayer as well. Not iPlayer. What is it? Is it BBC iPlayer? That's the one,
I
isn't
don't
it?
know.
BBC iPlayer. I've got a tablet set up in my kitchen, so then when I'm cooking tea, I'm watching what favorite a program. Well, at the minute I'm watching. What did I tell you the other day that we're watching? Waking the Dead.
Oh,
I like all these thriller thingies, and not too, but not real ones. You know, the, not not re- I
just
don't.
pretend ones.
Yeah, the pretend ones. I don't like watching the real ones.
You've not got around to Tiger King yet.
Oh
Never mind.
no, no. But I mean, Ellie likes stuff like that. But she's into all that stuff. But so I've just watched the whole series of Miranda. I've watched them for a giggle. Um, and I've watched what else? I've watched something else as well. But now I'm on Waking the Dead, which is like crimes that happened years ago. But something's happened now where they've managed to get the DNA from what happened years ago, and they put it all together, and it's just, and it's Trevor Reeve, and I used to like Trevor Reeve. I mean, I probably
Absolutely
still
great.
I do like Trevor Reeve actually. I've always liked Trevor Reeve. He's nice on the eye.
Congratulations, Trevor. I had one more thing I was sort of wanted to talk about really,
Right.
which is that my granddad is how old is he now?
82.
82. I wanted to say two, but I didn't know if it was two or
Yeah.
three. He's an unfortunate. He's a member of the unfortunate senior community, which right now is probably experiencing maybe more loneliness out of among everyone else who's isolating anyway, who might be immunocompromised or at high risk in any capacity. But obviously, the elder generation are also under strict lockdown advice, and you've not been able to. I gathered that you've been in the house, or you're going in the house soon, and he's going to go upstairs, and you're going to be downstairs, so you can
Yes,
read the
on
meter.
Wednesday I'm doing his doing his meter readings.
Cool.
They're under the stairs, you see, and he's got to crawl on his knees. And he can't do it anymore. So once a month, I do his meter readings,
Yeah.
and then I put them in his laptop for him, and then I tell him how much his bill is and everything. So it's I mean, I don't just do that once a month. I go in all the time to see him. Just I don't, but obviously,
Well, yeah. I
so
mean,
yeah. So
this was the point of my question was that you do
yeah,
you're very close to Grandad, and you do go see him
I am.
because
I am
you work just around the corner
all
from
the
him,
time.
so you would have
Yeah.
been at one time you were seeing him at least once every day.
I
So
was
what's
going every morning for breakfast,
yeah,
because I was dropping Beth off at school for the school bus, and then going to see Grandad every day. And now it's like I can't go at all, but I still do his shopping. But then he opens the door, and then I just take it out of the bags and pop it on the kitchen floor for him, and then we talk. Obviously, he'll open the window, and I'll stand in the garden, and we'll have a little chat. But on Wednesday, I'm going first thing Wednesday morning, so I will have had a shower. I'll have got in the car straight to his house. He's going upstairs. I'm doing his meter readings. Um, and then I'll do that, and then I will spray his laptop afterwards. He's going to have the Dettol ready for me, or whatever you call it, the anti-bac spray. And I'm also going to set up Skype on his laptop,
great.
and then I'm going to be ringing him, and I'm going to be showing him step by step, well, on the phone, of how to do Skype, and then I'm hoping that we're going to be able to chat on Skype,
That'll be
and then
great.
he'll be able to see everybody then as well, because we'll all get together. And then I thought I might even ask Uncle Parky if he, and then just try and do something that way.
Yeah, fab.
But I mean, he wasn't going for walks, but I've told him that he can go for a walk. So he's still going for his walks on the morning. But then that's it. He's in then.
How's he finding
But
that?
one of his friends walked past yesterday, so they talked through the window, which was really nice because he's not seen him for a few weeks. But he's just missing, missing the social side of things because that's all he had was, going to go to the pub.
Yeah, he's a social butterfly, isn't he, Grandad? He
He
had
is,
his
yeah.
he had his
See his friends.
weekend routine. He knew
Yeah.
what pub he was in on Friday night, and then where he was going Saturday night and Sunday night, didn't he?
Thursday night, yeah, Thursday night in one pub, and then Friday night I think it's the club, and then Sunday night it was the windmill, and then obviously he went out with your Uncle Parky on a Sunday night, which was nice because he's done a few bits with Uncle Parky, but now it's like, but he's been really good. And then he said, can you do them? He says, and what I'll do is, he said, when I see your car, I'll go upstairs. He said, and then I said, well, if I stay in the kitchen, I said, I've only been there in the kitchen, because I said I won't go on a night because when I've finished at night, I have to come straight home and do what the government guidelines have told me to do. So, and plus the fact if I've been in contact with people all day and children, I don't really want to be going into your granddad's.
Great. We just had a quick break because one of us has had too much water this morning, and that would be me. Thanks for doing this. I think that was everything that I felt was interesting and unique about your situation to me, and I've learnt lots about how you're working at school and how Grandad's finding stuff and how you've adapted. It sounds like you're doing an incredible job, not just of taking care of the kids, of the key workers who are still going to work, but also watching Beth and helping her with her schoolwork. And then the thing I'm the most glad about, because I know you and I'm sure every mum in the UK and in the world relates to this. I just the thing I worried about the most is that you wouldn't have been taking any time for yourself. And I'm just so glad to hear that you're acknowledging how important it is, especially in times like these, that you're practicing self-care and you're exercising, you're focusing on your just how you're taking care of yourself, and that's really, really good news. And also thank you for sharing so openly and warmly as you have throughout this conversation. It's been really nice. Apologies to everyone watching. I thought it was a good idea to have the window open today because it's a nice day, but every vehicle in Hull has driven past my window at some point. So apologies for that. Unless you haven't heard it.
Am I supposed to hear that?
Oh, maybe. Okay, well that's good news. But yeah, thanks so much. I feel this is funny because this is the point where in the professional podcasts the host would be saying, "So what have you got to promote and where can we find you on Twitter and stuff?" So I don't really know. I don't really know how I'm meant to end this, but thank you. It's been wonderful. I love you very much.
I love you too, and I miss you.
I miss you too.
So much. But then it was like I was just thinking, if you were at home, where would we put you?
I don't know.
It's like you're better off where you are. To be honest, you are better off there. But then I've got to admit, at first I thought, oh, Jake, come home. But I'm glad you're there. I am, and
Cool.
you're well.
Thank you.
Yeah, no worries.
Great. Well, stay
Okay.
safe. You know where I am.
Right.
Keep in
Yeah.
touch.
Yes, you as well. It's been lovely talking to you.
Yeah, and yourself. Bit of a
All
secret.
right.
I'm not actually going to hang up. I'm just going to say goodbye and pretend this is part of the video. But I love you and thanks very much. I'm going to press stop recording now.
Love you lot. Take
Bye,
care.
but not really.
Bye.
Bye. Thanks for watching this episode of Stay in Touch. Remember to follow us on socials. Just look for Stay in Touch, or on Instagram and Twitter, it's at Stay in Touch Show. Email me, let me know how this was and what you want to see in the future at stayintouchshow@gmail.com. Take care of yourselves. Email in with whatever you want, and see you next time.